AITA for kicking my husband out over text to my daughter's girlfriend, which led to him having a heart attack. I, 43, have been married to my husband, Chris, 45, for 21 years. We have one daughter, Sarah, 19, and for the past few months she's been dating Lena, 20F, who's Egyptian-Palestinian. Lena is lovely, soft-spoken, respectful, and thoughtful. She talks about her family and culture with so much pride, and she treats Sarah with so much care. I really liked having her around. Honestly, I was just happy Sarah had found someone who treated her so well. Chris seemed to like her too. He was always asking questions, especially about her background, whether her family was religious, what kind of food and cultural traditions she grew up with, if they still had relatives in Gaza, how her parents felt about her dating girls. It was a little much sometimes, but I brushed it off. He's always been curious about different cultures, and I figured he was just being friendly. Then, a few nights ago, Sarah came over to our house while my husband was still at work, saying that she had something serious to tell me. She had Lena's phone in her hand, looking like she had been crying, and gave it over to me. There were messages from Chris to Lena over a span of a month. He had been texting Lena behind Sarah's back. It started off as casual small talk, but it turned into him telling her how she had a rare beauty, that he'd never been with an Arab woman like her before. He said she had the kind of look that got into a man's head, and it made him wish that he dated out before being with me because she was stunning in a way white girls aren't. He asked her if she ever wore traditional clothing and said he bet she looked beautiful in a hijab, even though she isn't Muslim. He told her she had bedroom eyes and kept referring to her as exotic. Then came the worst part. He said maybe the three of us, that me, him, and Lena, could explore something private together, that it would be safe, just between us since we're all family. He tried to frame it like he was joking, but he clearly wasn't. To be clear, Lena never encouraged it. She told him to stop. She reminded him she was with Sarah. He kept saying it was stress, late night rambling, or he was just trying to joke, but it was clear he crossed the line. She didn't want to tell Sarah at first. She didn't want to break up Sarah's family or cause drama, but after weeks she finally told her, which led to Sarah showing me the texts herself. Sarah left soon after I had seen everything, and when Chris came home, I didn't say much of anything to him that night, but when he was asleep, I packed a decent amount of his stuff and put it near the front door. When he woke up, I told him I saw everything he said to Lena, and he had to leave. He didn't even try to deny any of it. He tried to explain that he'd never do anything for real, that it was a fantasy, that he'd been struggling mentally and emotionally for a long time, and didn't know how to express it. He admitted Lena made him think about things he never let himself think about before. That being with me, a white woman, was safe, but maybe too safe, and that he sometimes wondered what it would have been like to be with someone different. I didn't really say anything back. I just told him to leave again, so he did. He went to stay with his mom. That day, she started texting me nonstop. Then she sent pictures of Chris in a hospital bed, one after another, and said he collapsed in her kitchen and had a heart attack due to the stress. He's okay now, recovering, but she won't stop calling and texting me. She said I broke him, pushed him too far, that I should have dealt with it privately, like a wife should do. She blamed Lena and Sarah. She said I was choosing some foreign girl over my husband of 21 years. She also repeatedly called me heartless for not immediately visiting him, but also said that she wouldn't let me go into his hospital room anyways. Chris has only messaged me once from the hospital. He asked when he can come home, but I haven't answered yet. The part I hate the most is that I still love him. I do. Not the version of him in those texts, but the man I thought I was building a life and spent years with. That's what's tearing me up. That he could say those things, think those things, and still come back and look me in the eye like nothing was wrong. I know I technically had to do what I did for my daughter, but it doesn't feel good in the slightest. It just feels like my whole life is falling apart. AITA for doing that to him?